for of course a secret. Nobody know I'm doing this work. If I wish, they're really willing to pay.
My God, that how you earn your first bucket of gold.
Yes, there's some saying Web3 is our opportunity. We'll get a generational wealth breaking points for our generation. Q3 we have figured out it's quite empty in Hong Kong. We make a large scale exhibition in Hong Kong. We're ready to serve Hong Kong, mainland, Taiwan, and the international market at the same time.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Within the Ramp. Today I'm super excited to invite my friend Harry, the co-founder of X52 Web3. Welcome Harry! You are the co-founder of X2 Web3, but I'm aware that in your university time you study psychology. Do you want to walk us through how did you start your crypto journey from psychology graduate?
Sure, I think because like in my past life, although I'm 20 something, I think I have faced a lot of precious opportunity when I'm studying in secondary school in my college because like I become a student leader in my secondary school and then I picked my interested major when studying in college because like basically many Asia parents will push their children to study something, maybe having a good job in their future, but then their children is not really interested in studying that. But then I'm very pleasure that in my many lifetime journey is decided by me. And then I think I'm more likely a logical person and then I would like to really to predict or to study some behavior or phenomenon. So that's why I choose to study psychology. But then the backstory is that I won't convince anyone to study psychology anymore because what interested in this area is all you can read from a bookstore. It's like some
Yeah.
theory or how you can predict someone's mind, everything like that. You can really read from the book. And then
Yeah.
in the later year in my college, it's all about statistics, doing research, and all of this stuff are so boring. So if you are interested in psychology, you can just read some book and then you will be professional in it. And
Yeah.
then I still do pretty good in my college life, but I was spending a lot of time in pursuing or to finding something I'm really interested in. And
Yeah.
so in my like year 3 and year 4 time, what hit me or Hong Kong is the COVID time, where
Yeah.
everyone's staying at home and they have a lot of time spending online. And at
Mhm.
that time, I start to read more book, and the most the book which influenced me the most is I think many people who are in the Web3 space or investment space or entrepreneurial space have already read it is the Poor Dad Rich Dad, which me yeah is a classic which suggests you to not to quit a job but really to build your company or really to accumulate your assets. And this kind of opened my mind where I start to look at what I am strong at or what I can do in order to really build something on my own. And
Mhm.
this is the path where I start to engage with investment, like doing some trading stuff with looking at the graph, doing some technical analysis. And
Yeah.
then it's very funny is that we have one saying is that you just sit in the coffee shop and then you open one graph. If you think one graph is not enough, open four. And then everyone around you will think, wow, he must be very rich. And then so I spend a lot of time in studying the trading with graph and then trading with different asset like uh, doing with stock, doing with options.
Mm.
And unfortunately, I lost pretty much money at that time.
How much did you lose?
I think if I count in doing some Web3 crypto trading, I think 10 to 20 something thousand Hong Kong dollar.
Yeah.
But I think it's really
That's a lot
something
as a student.
as
When
a
you were a
student.
student, that's a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
like losing all the saving. When I share this story to my Web3 friends, they say, yeah, it's common. This story also happened at my side. I think why I finally step into the Web3 space and every people I encounter is
Mhm.
really start they like to get in touch with some exciting things or very trend
Mm-hmm.
brand things. And they are full
Mm.
of curiosity, full of courage to experience different stuff.
Yeah. So
I
someone introduced you to invest in crypto while you were looking for something to invest and to gain more financially.
Yeah, exactly. Because trading you can't really do uh, on your own. You really need to talk to somebody to
Mm.
share the information, to share the news. My trading squad start to discuss about something called GameFi,
Mm-hmm.
where you can play some game and then really earn a lot of money, really a lot of money. And then I
How,
start to
how much can people like earn in your squad?
yes, this is a very good question. Yeah, like when
Yeah.
I investigate in it, because when the story goes on, I really build a YouTube channel and then to teach people how to invest in GameFi. And then I will
Yeah.
do some design for the thumbnail where I use some clickbait where you can earn 1,000 Hong Kong dollar each day just by playing
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
That video really get a burst, really attract a lot of people to watch.
Yeah. But is
Now
it real? Is it real someone can make
this
1,000?
is real. This is real. This is real. This is
Yeah.
also true when you get in touch as a newbie, when you enter the Web3 world,
Mm-hmm.
because you can really earn a lot of money at the very first phase of every project.
Yeah.
And then if you escape at the right time, then you can earn the money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will lose all the money.
Yeah.
It's all about
Yeah, it's true.
practical experience. And so this is
Yeah.
how I start my Web3 journey where I really onboard many people onto Web3 by playing games. When I start to join some real life event, some friends that I met really say, "Thank you, Harry, you bring me into Web3 spaces." And then
Yeah.
I am very happy to see them having some business in the Web3 world. Some
Yeah.
of them even become VC, venture
Mm-hmm.
capital,
Yeah.
and do the projects, doing a lot of interesting stuff in these spaces,
Mm-hmm.
and we still keep in touch, and then sometimes have some business collaboration still till
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So you mentioned during your university time because you're looking for financial gain, and then you are also seeking for something that like boosts your adrenaline because you like to invest in something very high risk, which is crypto by that time. And also you mentioned that you created your own YouTube channel and it's already like start to shape how you start your own career in crypto. But I'm aware that you also have a very entrepreneurial side of yourself. You have joined a lot of entrepreneur competitions during your university time. How did that influence you to become a co-founder in your current
Before I read this kind of book, I really just spend time doing some part time, or I just focus in my study where I would like to maybe find a good job in my future career. And
Mhm.
then after figure out that I really need to build up my own kingdom. Yeah, just as stated in the book,
Yeah.
I really try to build up my own co-founding team or to find some good idea where I can start to do some startup stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
in Hong Kong, can say it's a very favorable environment for startup. But then at least what we can do when we are studying in college is that we can join some competition as students. We can get some college fund or we can get some startup funds. Uh,
Yeah.
and at that time, I really try out many different projects. For example, I try to do something similar to Open Rise,
Mm-hmm.
and also something similar to a Hong Kong famous forum. So this is how I start to do my startup journey by engaging in different startup courses where they will really teach you how to build a proper deck, how
Mm-hmm.
to make a flow where the investor or the audience understand what you want to build or how you are going to disrupt the industry using your product, using your company. And
Yeah.
this is how I shape my entrepreneurial mindset or how I can really discover some feasible product solving some real pain point in the
Mm-hmm.
industry.
Yeah.
But then, of
So
course,
yeah.
all the projects failed at last
Yeah.
because experience is, I think two things are very crucial when you are doing business. The first one is experience, and then another is about network.
Mm-hmm.
It's about insight, how you can do some good development about the product, how to train your team, and then the network is how the resources, no matter it's a commodity or about human resources, all kinds of news information and network they can bring to you is a
Yeah.
very crucial factor influencing the development of your company.
Did you just started to think about this while you were in the university? Did you try to do like some small business, like selling candies to your classmate or things like that?
Yes, I think when you get to college, you really have something in your mind you would like to get some breakthrough in your life.
Yeah.
And so I think, of course, like in my secondary school, I start to develop some mindset is how I can do better compared to myself at that time. And so I start
Yeah.
to have some important role, like doing a student leader, something like that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
secondary school. And
Yeah.
then that at some point certainly help my career or help how I develop my skills because I don't talk a lot in my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And then the role taking scenario in the secondary school really pushed me out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
where I need to really to train my team to deliver a lot of speeches, to talk to many public figure, and the experience is uh, very really precious to my
Yeah.
growth. And then
Yeah.
my college, I think I have kind of uh, not doing well in year one, year two, where I
Mm-hmm.
still figure out what I would like to do, and then it's kind of in a mess. But then
Yeah.
when the COVID come in, I think COVID is really a life changing point to many people
Yeah.
because it's really for the big environments totally changes for everyone. You just asked me whether I've started to do some business in
Yeah.
college. Yes, at that time, ChatGPT or the AI technology is not mature enough.
Yeah. Yeah. By the
And
time
then
that you almost graduate. Yeah.
yes, and then at that time, because every students they need to study at home online,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so like all the assignment, all the examination and tests, is take place online. So
Mm-hmm.
so there's a business called Ghostwriter at that time,
I don't know
and
this. What is that?
and then I built an agency where
Oh.
when the demand come in, for example, they have a essay or a assignment or even a
Mm-hmm.
FYP that the students they do not want to do by themselves or they would like
Yeah,
email.
it's like the coursework handling agency.
Yes, and then I am doing as a bridge where I find a ghostwriter to finish the work, and that actually earn quite an amount of money because Hong Kong students is quite rich. They're really willing to pay. I think like for a small task, like a
Yeah.
midterm assignment, they're willing
Yeah.
to pay 5 to 6,000 Hong Kong
For
dollar.
how many words?
For how many words? It's just like a midterm. It's like
Oh my god.
one Hong Kong dollar for one word.
Oh my god. And
Yeah.
that how you earn your first bucket of gold.
Yes, the story behind is I start to have some startup mindset where I would like to really disrupt the industry because at
Yeah.
that time there's already a lot of agency in the
Mm-hmm.
industry in Hong Kong. And
Yeah.
then I would like to disrupt the situation where there's a pain point is
Yeah.
that there's a lot of scam in that area where
Yeah, it's
they
true.
get the money from their clients and then they just drop pool, disappear.
I'm so glad that the only time I bought my coursework I didn't
Mhm.
get rocked.
Yeah, maybe some they still receive the work, but then the quality is very low.
Very shitty.
Yeah. So I just built a platform using Wix and then a lot of
Yeah.
coding work where
Mm-hmm.
they can really look at the background information and the traction of every ghostwriter. So that's where they can choose to work with which one because they
Yeah.
really we really check or how many score do they get by helping doing someone's work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the
Did you
main
learn
reason
programming just for did you self-taught programming for doing
Yes,
this
yes.
project?
I have learned to learn Python or do JavaScript.
Your classmate must love you so much by that time then.
No, it's of course a secret. Nobody know I'm doing this work. Because really, at the very first place, I really employ or I really collaborate with some Hong Kong students because
Yeah.
they are really, I mean, their academic level is in the high level, and then at least they can provide some good quality work. Our client will be satisfied. But then at some point, we figure out that our profit margin is too small,
Mm.
where our writer is living in Hong Kong and then our client is often also living in Hong
Also
Kong.
in Hong Kong, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so we
They would
start
charge a lot.
to we start to get in touch with some writer living in some poor countries.
Yeah, less
Yeah,
developed place. Yeah,
less developed
yeah,
place,
yeah.
and they can really write good article. That's true.
Mm.
And then their pay is relatively lower than the Hong Kong writer, and
Yeah,
so this is where we start to um, make some
yeah,
satisfying money at this business.
yeah. But that business didn't satisfy you, did you? Or you would, if not, you would keep doing that. You would not jump into crypto.
It's too tiring because we really would like to give some quality work to the client. And so
Mm.
we, for example, when we are doing an online examination, we
Mm-hmm.
really need to. There will be three party, of course, sitting in front of their computer. Is that the writer, our client, and then me and my partner, because we
Yeah,
need to pass the answer to the client, and then we need to really urge our writer. Oh, the time is not enough. We need to anyway. Is that our writer in the less developed countries really
yeah.
cannot face the time pressure because they do the stuff relatively slower.
Slow.
And we really need to get in touch with the work.
Yeah, yeah.
We also engage and involved in the work. So it's pretty tired, I think. It's pretty tired.
Was it the only business that you tried to develop before you start your crypto project, or you tried something else?
Many stuff, but then I think only this business is the one making money.
Mm, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Other project we win some college funding, but then we all putting the funding into maybe hiring some development team to build the projects, to build the product. But
Mm,
then the the product didn't launch in the market before maybe the team has divided into different parts
yeah,
or
yeah.
many things
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Yeah. Well, I guess there is a lot of things that you will need to learn apart from the analytical part, but there are also a lot of communication and management skills that you will have to develop. Is it the reason why you took some project management course?
Project management course is because my first graduation job is a project management training. So I
Yeah.
really need to learn
Yeah.
about it. At least I have some basic skills when I was
Mm-hmm.
onboarded on that company.
Yeah. So you did try to work on some full time, but it didn't work out. It ended up you have to be like starting your own business instead.
Not really, because I think I'm a person who are full of curiosity, or I will get bored when doing the same task or same job for a long time. I have graduated for 4 years, and then for the first graduating job I do for 1 year, I quit when I think I have learned all the stuff I want from that job.
Yeah.
And then for the second job is I enter a Web3 company doing some Web3 wallet product. And again, I worked for 1 year and then I quit because
Mm-hmm.
I met my partner, Winston, who is the founder of 852 Web3, where
Mm-hmm.
I see the opportunity and I quit my full-time job to start the business with him.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like 1 year, and then 852 is like the most longest work I have
Project.
taken. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
already 2 years, and
Yeah.
I'm not because of bored of doing full-time job, and then I
Mm-hmm.
start a career. Is that I really set a goal for me? Is that I can only work for 2 to 3 years in full time, and then
Mm-hmm.
I must start my own career.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of saying or a lot of mental shared experiences that once you work in a company or work full time for 2 to 3 years, you will be too comfortable
Yeah.
or to start your own stuff because
Mm-hmm.
you get a salary by paying your effort,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you won't have enough motivation or enough courage to quit your comfort zone to start something
Yeah,
else.
yeah, and especially when you grow a little bit older, you don't want to take too much risk, I guess, and you
That's
would
true.
rather do it earlier. How did you decide, okay, crypto is some field that I would like to start my company in? What makes you think crypto is a nice industry to build your kingdom?
For me, I really had some passion in looking into technology. Like I always joke about normal boy, they will spend their life watching maybe NBA or some
Yeah,
football match, or to watch at some esport tournament like League of Legends, CSO. But
yes.
then I will spend my night watching Apple keynotes or watching SpaceX they launch the rocket.
Mm,
So that's how I really passionate about looking at some new technology come to real life. And this is
yeah,
how I start to look at AI, look at blockchain, look at Web3. And I think AI is too technical for me. But then
yeah.
Web3 is more like a combination of technology and finance,
Mm,
where the news and then the technology and the information is too exciting for everyone to stay in a high adrenaline level every
yeah,
day, where
yeah,
you will see something new, you will see some very exciting investment opportunity here.
yeah,
And so that's how I keep spending time in studying Web3, in studying blockchain.
yeah.
And of course, there's some saying is Web3 is the only chance where our opportunity will get a generational wealth. Generational wealth
I
is,
still, that's what I still believe in.
yeah, is that really referring to you won't have any other chance where you can get that much money compared to you really work for a full-time job or you investing
Hmm.
in traditional stock or what else. So Web3
Yeah.
is really something a breaking point for our generation, I think.
Well, but like you mentioned, you don't come from a technical background. You're not a
Mhm.
developer yourself. Did you find it difficult in approaching the industry while you don't have any technical background?
Although industry is, I mean, the circle or the industry is not mature enough, I found that there are quite a lot of different aspects, like business development, or marketing, or community manager. There's a lot of different role apart from
Hmm.
development. So I think there's pretty much opportunity for different people who are not
Yeah.
professional in the development background. They can still engage in
Hmm.
this area.
Hmm.
For me,
Yeah.
I engage in this area at the first place is the KOL, so-called KOL,
Yeah.
and then the second role is BD, business
Yeah.
development, and then the
Hmm.
third I can say is entrepreneurial, or I can say marketing, or I say I'm doing an event manager right now in the Web3
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
an interesting role I can take part in the Web3 space.
And I know that you are very actively hosting conferences, and I saw in one of your tweets you mentioned you try hosting 200 events in 1 week. How did
No,
you
no,
do that?
in 1 year, 200 in 1 year, no.
200
But
events
20,
in 1 year.
but 20 in 1 week. We really do something like that.
So you host 20 events in 1 week.
In 1 week, yes. And it's really a hell week at that time. Really,
Yeah.
at your mind, you really like has a dashboard, and in every minute you need to keep in mind is that every event you need to take care of what stuff. You need to really look at the process or what people you need to talk to, and so
Mm,
I can say I'm a very experienced event planner, but at that time it's really get a level of pressure during the event.
yeah. Yeah. And well, I think the hard work really paid off because like if I have to is one of the most prominent community in Hong Kong. Can you share with us how did you collect these members and how did you build this project at first?
First of all, really thank you for mentioning Big Five to Web3 is I think it's still the most active Web3 community in Hong Kong. what we can see is that we bring out a lot of Web3 community, including dev community or blue chips NFT community, but then they cannot stay long in Hong Kong because of many different factors. Maybe because of the business situations, maybe because of the nature of how they can running the community. And what we can see is many of them either become not very active or even disappeared already.
Yeah,
And
we saw a
for
lot of community disappear in Hong Kong.
yes, and for last year, because 852 Web3 established in late 2022, and then we used 1 year time, finishing doing over 100 in real life event for Hong Kong Web3, where we
Yeah.
really gather some Cantonese speaker and then Hong Kong Web3 builders, developers, and investors attending the event. And I'm very sure that we have fostered a lot of collaboration opportunity for them,
Yeah.
meeting in real life,
Yeah.
because meeting in real life is really something when compared to only meeting online. People really need the intimacy when they get in touch with each other. Maybe they have some memory like having alcohol together, or they really have some true memory meeting in real life.
Yeah.
And
What was
so,
the most impressive event that you ever host?
most impressive event I have
Or the
ever
one
hosted.
that most memorable?
Well, this is a very hard question because we have really host too many events, like
Yeah.
from small scale for like every month we will have we call it a very difficult task. It's a coffee meetup where we will do a coffee meeting in Hong Kong Island at 9 p.m.
So
And then
early.
for Web3 people, waking up at 9 a.m. is like a mission impossible. But then every time they
Exactly.
still have 20 to 30 people showing up
Yeah.
in the event.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting for that. And then if you are talking about very memorable event, I can't really come enough right now.
It's okay. But like from 20 to 30 to like huge conference, apparently there will be a whole process of like the gain of the members, right? Were there any particular moments that there's one moment that suddenly just there are a lot of new members joining your community?
Very beginning of the founding of 852 it really brings something very interesting to the Hong Kong Web3 circle because at that time, the Hong Kong government has launched some policy statements about promoting the virtual asset or the virtual finance in Hong Kong. There's a lot of different stakeholders who would like to gain some benefit in Hong Kong, including different mainland party stated that they are Hong Kong people. But
Yeah.
what we can see is that the AMA, I mean the Twitter space, all different campaign that hosted at that time is mainly in Mandarin.
Yeah.
So we really do localized work is that we really speak Cantonese where we really use traditional Chinese character and then it's really bring the interest from different Hong Kong people.
Yeah.
And so for the first time, for the second time, for the third time for our in real life event. And also there's a very important point we need to mention is that people get bored during COVID where they stay at home. They cannot meet different people. And at that
Yeah.
time, the government has to start to cancel out the COVID policy, the lockdown policy, where they can start to do event in real life, more people gathering in the same places.
Yeah.
So they are very eager to
To
get
meet
in touch
people.
and to meet people. And then start from our first gathering, maybe 20 people. And then for the second is 50 people. For the third time is 100 people. It's like a exponential curve for the attendance for a meeting.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
some point, we reach 300 and 400.
Yeah.
It is a really very important milestone for that. And then, of course,
Yeah.
we know that it's really already a peak. 300 and 400 is already a maximum. But that is already a very happy moment at that time.
Yeah. How did you feel?
I think I was very happy to be in part of a team. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am also a person who like to do some community work. Like before F52, I have involved in some work doing some youth organization. really to do
Mm.
different games, do OCam for the correspondence. Yeah, I really like to gather people, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'm really enjoyed at the journey doing all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And apart from like coffee meeting and conferences, hackathon, what are the main events that you guys do? Will there be particular theme on each event, or is more just for networking? How do you usually organize your events?
I can share a story here. Is why 852 Web3 start to do fewer events this year. Um, like Steph, you have mentioned, what kind of theme or what intention we will look at before we do the event. And in 2023, I mean last year, where we will do our event every month, we need to, of course, book the event value. And then one of the three main key feature for a 52 Web3 event is that our catering is very good, where they can have good food, drinks, and really get full in our event.
Yeah,
That is pretty much a huge amount of expenditure for every event.
of
So,
course.
so we need to spend a lot of time finding sponsorship for our event to
Yeah,
support for the expenditure.
yeah.
So we have a long time struggling in this. Is that every time find a sponsor, we need to pitch the event to them, what kind of advantage, what kind of exposure, or how they can gain something sponsoring our event. Although my partner Winston is a very strong salesman, we at last figure out that it's not a sustainable way doing event in Hong Kong. The user base in Hong Kong Web3 is that small. And
Mm-hmm.
then when we start to do event again and again, we start to see the same group of people at every time. So
Mm-hmm.
this causes less value to the sponsorship because they are not able to promote their brand to a bigger circle. So
Mm.
it's become harder and harder to find sponsorship. So at last
Mm-hmm.
we start to decision where we stop to do some monthly event, but then we just help the company to do event when they really have the demand. So the
Mm.
difference,
Yeah.
at first we do event, we organize an event, and then find some we call our daddy to
Yeah.
sponsor. It's to sustain when we do a lot of these kinds of. So we start to
Mm-hmm.
shift to another way is that some company have some demand. They have the money,
Mm.
they have the budget, and then we
Mm-hmm.
act as a production house, use our experience, event organizing experience to do the event with
Mm-hmm.
them. Start from this year, we are working with another large-scale production company called CGA, Cyber Game
Mm-hmm.
Arena, where they do all kind of large-scale esports tournament in Hong Kong for the past 10 years. All kind of like the League of Legends, CSO, all kind of this Asia tournament are organized by them. So they have even more experience, or their team is more experienced than even if I have to web three when we
Mm-hmm.
need a very large scale event. So we have the ability to help Tom to do Tom Hack House and Tom Bootcamp at the beginning of this year.
Wow,
And so
that's
this is
huge.
how we're stepping up from a community side to an
Mm-hmm.
institution side.
So, do you think like the market in Hong Kong is still very immature in that sense? Because apparently, uh, you overcome a lot of
Mhm.
struggles in getting more target audience. But like
Mhm.
you said, Cantonese market is already quite small, but in
Yes.
Web3 is even smaller. Do you have a general outlook for the Hong Kong Web3 market?
I mean, 852 West 3, in case some audience don't know, 852 is the country code for Hong Kong. Many people ask us whether we are just looking at Hong Kong market, and the answer
Mm-hmm.
is certainly no, because Hong Kong is just a starting point. It's like a harbor where we can get in touch or distribute or allocate the resources to the projects to different countries. So we are
Mm-hmm.
not just looking at Hong Kong. We also look at mainland China, look at Taiwan, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Thailand, etc. But then
Mm-hmm.
Hong Kong is like we will help them get in this place to get the resources from maybe government, from cyberports, from that's Hong Kong,
Yeah.
to get in touch with the Hong Kong base, and then of course
Mm-hmm.
also help the Hong Kong projects get to in a more international perspective. Hong Kong market is mature enough.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say it's not very mature, or I can say it's too mature right now because mainly the development of the industry is supported by regional government, no matter which country you come from.
Mm-hmm.
And Hong Kong government, they have a lot of planning in the Web 3.0 area, but then they are not really following what the industry wants. Like
Mm.
do a lot of regulation about exchange. They even do some policy for the ETF for BTC, and then but all this kind of policy we observe do not have a good market performance, or the market is not satisfied when looking at that. We think it's a hardship for Hong Kong to develop such a
Yeah.
new technology or new industry in India.
Yeah. Well, I guess like most of the regulations, they're more accommodating the institution levels, while it contradicts with a lot of Web3 users or retail investors. So I guess there's still a lot of hard work for the Hong Kong's community in trying to cope with the new regulations. Is it why you would be very actively changing or traveling to Taiwan and Thailand, for example, to get more connections and outreaching for new communities?
That's very true. Like what I've mentioned is you cannot do the business or develop the industry by just staying in Hong Kong
Mm-hmm.
because Hong Kong is just a very small place. And we are doing pretty good when we develop different relationship with the community in different places, like in Japan, in Korea, and Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
For example, mostly we also do marketing campaign for our
Mm-hmm.
clients,
Yeah.
and then we can also suggest to work with different media and then KOL in different countries where they can
Mm-hmm.
help to promote the projects in their own regions.
Mm.
So it's really important to work with different community because at least you can exchange the market information, market news, and then exchange the
Mm-hmm.
resources in a
Yeah.
pretty friendly way.
Yeah. Well, compared to other regions, do you think is Hong Kong more mature, or do you think like maybe Taiwan or Thailand are more mature? What do you think?
Um, like first of all, we will compare Hong Kong to Taiwan because we are quite, I mean, our language or culture, and we are pretty close in our geography factor. And we figure out that the community in Taiwan, their bonding is very strong because
Mm.
they are willing to share their knowledge, share the experience to each other. They are very willing to build things together.
Mm-hmm.
And for Hong Kong, is the bad news is Hong Kong people is more interest oriented. They are
Mm.
more likely in making money, or they will go to a certain area where they can really make some money there.
Mm-hmm.
So for Hong Kong people, they can easily be together, but it's hard or it's difficult to hold together. And then for
Mm.
Taiwan, it's like a vice versa, where they need to spend a lot of time collaborating with each other. But then after some bonding has the formation of the bonding has finished, they can really uh, do a lot of things, or they can share the information in a very effective way.
Mm.
Of course, Hong
Yeah.
Kong, when I mean for the market situation when it turns good, where there's a short bull market or what else, the information in Hong Kong will be spread in a more faster way, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they can flip this coin, flip that NFT, and then they are
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
eager to share this kind of information.
Yeah.
And then for Japan and Korea, because like in Japan, they have a time lagging situation there where their working culture is kind of traditional.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot of rules, or they have a lot of working culture they need to follow, which makes them not really catching up with what happened in the Web3 world. And so, like where last year people is doing NFTs. This year
Yeah.
they are doing NFT stuff.
Oh, they're a bit time lagging then.
But they still have some advantage because many famous IP is
In
in Japan,
Korea.
like
In
Pokemon,
Japan. Yeah.
like different famous cartoon is written in Japan. So they
Hmm.
still have a lot of advantage in
Yeah.
doing the web. And
Yeah.
then for Korea, wow, it's totally a flipping country where they
Mm.
do a lot of investment doing flipping and making money.
Yeah.
Is that where they will launch their coin and then they will do the trading in the inner circle. And then once they finish making money, the coin will be traded by the outer circle by another
Yeah.
regions. So this is
Yeah.
how Korea is doing the
Mm.
Web3 stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
for the community side, we observe maybe of this culture where they have a lot of inner circle. They
Mm-hmm.
really would like to go playing poker, playing golf
Yeah.
with the inner circle, and it's kind of scatter for Korea
Mm.
community.
I see.
It's quite interesting when we are making friends with uh, different community in different regions and to
Mm-hmm.
look at each other culture. And exactly because of the different in the culture, we can work with each other to maybe to work with different clients
Mm-hmm.
and then to compensate with some shortcoming for different regions.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, are there any update about 852 Web3? What will be your future plans in the project?
We have been not very active in this year because we have tried to incubate some company and we really need to spend a lot of effort in kicking start different projects. And so
Mm-hmm.
we do fewer events or we make fewer appearance in Hong Kong Web3 market in this year. Very soon we will getting back to the market because we will work with Taiwan media to do a large scale exhibition in Hong Kong
Mm-hmm.
where we have observed that like for Q1 we will have Web3 festival organized by Hashkey where they mainly serve the mainland market. And
Mm-hmm.
then for Q2, there will be Bitcoin Asia, where mainly serve the Bitcoin ecosystem. And then for Q4, there will be FinTech Week, which is happening right
Mm-hmm.
now. And more likely focusing in the traditional finance. And for Q3, we have figured out that it's quite empty in Hong Kong Web3 space. So we
Mm-hmm.
will take up the space and then make a very large scale exhibition in Hong Kong, where we need to serve Hong Kong, mainland, Taiwan, and the international market at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something we are really looking forward to show to the market.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited, and I'm sure people in Hong Kong will be looking forward in joining one of your conferences or events in real life as well. So where will we be able to hear any updates from your community?
We will kickstart the stuff because it's impossible for A53 to suddenly host a very large scale exhibition.
Yeah.
So I think start from next month, we'll start to organize a monthly gathering every month to gather
Mm-hmm.
the people to make more appearance in the market and then also to have some very on hand update for what we are doing or what we are planning to do. We will start to do more stuff in Hong Kong Web3 space and really hope to attract more projects from different places to Hong Kong, maybe getting into Singapore, getting the funding, getting more
Mm-hmm.
support from the government, and
Mm-hmm.
then we can make a huge comeback next year.
Yeah. Well, for some of you that are not in Hong Kong, if you are trying to look for new communities to join in Hong Kong, just check out 852 Web3. Thank you so much for your time, Harry.
Thank you for your time, Steph.
I hope you enjoyed the video. As we will be interviewing with interesting leaders across the Web3 space on a weekly basis, be sure to stay tuned to us. If you find our content interesting, be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the like button, hit the bell notification, and see you in the next